So what exactly is the Nightmare Zone? Sounds scary, right? Well, luckily, nothing to be worried about. This is a safe minigame that is used as one of the best AFK training methods available in the whole game. So the reason why I say that is because when you do things like, rock crabs, ammonite crabs, and things like that, you have to first fight with people to even get possession of these crabs. And then when you finally do it, you have to run out and come back every 15 minutes to reset the aggro on you. So with Nightmare Zone, you don't have to worry about that because every single monster in Nightmare Zone is always aggressive to you, so they'll always be attacking you. Now you might be wondering, how long can you actually AFK? Well, I don't know, so let's test it out real quick. So 15 minutes, and the only reason I stopped is because I died. Sounds great, right? Well, it is. But there's a couple requirements. You need to complete at least 5 quests from the list I've put here. Now the thing about Nightmare Zone is that you are fighting bosses from these quests over again. So if a boss was kicking your ass in that quest, they're likely going to kick your ass again in Nightmare Zone. So I don't recommend doing all of these quests. In fact, I only recommend doing these. So the 3 that are in green I highly recommend because they have some of the easiest bosses, which I'll go over next. The orange ones, you can choose 2 of those 4, and the light blue is only for using the rock cake, which I'll explain as well. So by far the easiest guy that you can fight here is King Rolled. I think that's how you say his name. But he is super low defense, he almost never hits, kind of goofy looking guy, and easy to kill. Second one is the Snake Boy from the Depths of Despair. So he is also kind of easy to kill. And then you have the Count from Vampire Slayer, and this guy is also super easy to kill. Don't worry, you don't need garlic or anything else to kind of kill him. Now the next couple of quests I recommend are these 4. So you have, and you can take either 2 of these. You have to choose a minimum of 5 bosses to be fighting during this Nightmare Zone. So first up is the Tree Spirit from Lost City. The Tree Spirit has high melee defense, but doesn't really hit as often as other bosses. So I like using this boss. Pretty decent health. Alright, next up you got your boy DJ Khaled. This guy is accurate with his hits, which is annoying, so he'll be picking away at your health. And he has pretty decent defense, so not my favorite guy. I'd probably avoid using this one, but just one of the options in case you've already done this quest. Next up is Me. Me has... sound like an orc talking in third person. Me has the ring. Oh god. Anyway, Me has a low defense, or lower defense rather than the other bosses, so that are on the mid-level tier. So I'd recommend using this person. Alright, last up you got the Black Knight Titan. So this guy looks ugly, he's very strong, good defense, hits hard, but he also drops a lot of points. So I'd recommend doing this just to kind of keep up with your points and make sure that you are profiting and making enough points to do other things. So what are points? So points allow you to buy 3 important rewards. 1 is resources, 2 is upgrades, and 3 is benefits. Resources, most of the stuff that you get is junk. However, you do get herb boxes. You get a certain amount per day, and you can actually buy them and redeem them for money. So you get a bunch of herbs. Second, one of the most important things you can get from Nightmare Zone is upgrades. So you can actually imbue certain items and double stats. So for example, you know how the Berserker ring gives +4 for strength? Well, if you imbue it, it gives +8. Here's the points required to imbue the items available. Last up is benefits. So benefits allows you to buy 2 important potions. One is Overload and one is Absorption. So drinking Overload potions will increase your combat stats anywhere from 5 to 19 levels, and it causes 50 hit points of damage. Now you might be thinking, wow, 50 hit points is a lot of damage. Isn't damage bad? Well, actually in the Nightmare Zone, being damaged prior to drinking the other potion, which is Absorption Potions, is very beneficial. Think of it like this. Absorption Potions are basically shields. You have your normal health, and then you have a shield in front of you. This shield has HP. So every dose you drink of the Absorption Potion is equal to 50 HP. And any damage you would have taken is taken off of the shield's HP. Now the thing is, you can drink up to a maximum of 1000 HP for your shield. So if you have player A, which has 50 HP, and let's say player 2 that only has 1 HP, which one is better? Actually player 2, because what's happening is that when you have Absorption Potions, monsters can only hit your maximum health at that time, which for player 2 is 1. If we go back to player 1, that means they can hit anything under a 50, and that's taken off the shield. So remember how I said earlier that overload potions take off 50 HP? That sounds beneficial, right? It is, but the problem is, after 5 minutes, you get that health right back. So if your HP was 1, you'd go back to 51. And the issue is, when you're back to 51, now we've just raised the enemy's max hit cap to 51. They can't hit 51s, but they will hit 28s, 27s, and things like that, which is going to take away your shield very rapidly. This is what makes overloads un-AFKable. That's why I prefer actually using super combat potions instead. Oh, in case you're wondering what this Dwarven Rock Cake is, it's a quest item used in the Freeing the Mountain Dwarf subquest from Recipe for Disaster. So it allows you to damage yourself down to 1 HP. You can make maximum usage of your absorption potions because enemies cannot hit higher than your current HP. Alright, so we're almost ready to go into the Nightmare Zone. So one of the last things I want to talk about is the actual power-ups that you get within Nightmare Zone. So power-ups are basically temporary boosts that you get in Nightmare Zone. There's 4 of them, but you should only be using 3. If you're AFKing, you probably won't even use these. You can skip over this if you're going to be AFKing primarily. Alright, we'll knock Ultimate Force off the list. Basically, this kills every single monster in the area at the time, and you do not get any points for this. It's a terrible power-up, just don't use it. Next up is Power Surge. It instantly refills your special attack bar if it was depleted, and regenerates your special attack really quickly. This is useful for doing things like multiple DDS attacks and multiple Gmaul attacks. Next up is Zapper, which is pretty useful. It's just a purple power-up that just shoots out a bunch of damage at random enemies. And then finally, Recurrent Damage, which actually allows you to hit monsters, and then you stack that with a hit that's 3/4 of the initial damage that you just did. So for example, if you hit a 40, the next one would be a 30. The 2 loadouts I'm going to be talking about are the Obsidian Armor approach and the Guthans approach. I won't be talking about Pures because I don't really know much about Pures. Well, I try to ask. Not the greatest feedback. Okay, the first check is to have your best combat gear. In this approach, I'm using the Obsidian approach. I'm also using a Berserker necklace to stack the effects of the damage boost. I'm already using the Imbued Ring. This is through the points I got earlier. It's just as well as my best gear. Probably should have Barrow's Gloves, but I don't have that. But the first thing you're going to do is go over to something over here called Dominic's Coffer. Open it up, and I already have some previous money stored here, but you're going to want to deposit the 150k or whatever cash stack you have. Remember, every instance of this mode will be 26k. Once you do that, right-click Dream. You're going to want to go to Rumble, Customizable Hard, pay the money, and drink the potion. From here, you'll select your bosses. I've been using Black Demon for some reason, but I'm going to take him out and replace him probably with the Tree Spirit, and hit Accept. So since this is your first time, you won't have ability to buy absorption potions or anything fancy. You'll get that with the points that you earn afterwards. And you'll see on the left hand side how many points I'm able to get. This 3 million total is just how many I've amounted over the long time I've left my guy AFK while doing other things, including making this video. And something pretty cool about this is that I'll actually be getting 90 strength on this video. I started at 85 when I made this video, and now I'm going to be at 90 in the span of it, I think around 4 days. So right away, drink your Super Combat Potion. And if you have pretty decent prayer, you can turn that on for Protect from Melee. So I would have gotten 13,761 points, right? So with that, go over to the rewards chest, and I'm only going to buy what I got. So if I got 13,000, that means I can only buy. And at this point, go get your rock cake. So 13 doses. And let's boot it up again. You'll now have a quick option where you can just redo the same one you did before. Accept it again. If you have a rock cake, just eat down to 1 HP. If you don't have a rock cake, there's another option. So you got to take a bunch of damage. Okay, perfect. That's good. When you get the HP that you're comfortable with, then at that point, throw on your armor and everything that you're going to use, and drink your absorption potions. And the thing is, at this instance, you're going to do better than you did your first time. So let's say this time around you get 20k points. Buy more absorption potions. Next time around you're going to get 40k points. Keep on buying those potions. And eventually it's going to get to the point where you're going to get a lot of points, you're going to get more comfortable doing this, and you're going to be, racking up these points, and it's going to become more and more easy. Everything is the same for the direct approach. You just have to make sure that you're a little bit more careful about keeping your health at 1 to maximize your experience gains, because as your health goes up, you weaken your strength with direct, so you have to make sure it's as close to 1 as possible. So not as AFK-able if you want to have good EXP rates. Besides that, guys, thank you so much for watching the video up to this point. I'd appreciate it as always if you could like, subscribe, and comment. I'll be making more videos in the future about different guides. If you have any suggestions, please let me know and I'll try to jump into it. Thanks, and I'll see you on my next video.